determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good afternoon, iRacers. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here at Road America. Alex Simpson here, hopefully with Adam Barth. He should be here very, very shortly. Or he could be snoozing. Who knows? But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, be interesting race here at Road America. And just a quick look at the circuit. Obviously fantastic layout for racing, really. All about those three main straights down into turn 1, into turn 5 and Canada corner, of course. So key for getting overtakes done. So it's going to be a good race, I'm sure. Great for multi-class as well. Partly cloudy and very, very humid today out there as well, so that'll affect the cars just a little bit, but still fairly mild on the temperature, so tyres should be good throughout. Qualifying is just underway at the moment. A few people on their outlap, a few people setting times. Out there, who is on a lap at the moment? Rob Hartley just finishing up, I think, a lap. If we can bring him up on screen, we'll send it over to a track guide very, very soon. And while quali's going on, just have a quick look what he has done. So Hartley sets himself a 2:32.144, so goes in second place, down with the fastest lap so far in the class. Your current pole sitter in the GS class as well, so Ford's on an outlap, so exactly what he's doing at the moment. Jennifer McDonald just finishing up a lap as well. Let's go and take a quick gander and see what he can do. Needs to be looking in the region of about sort of 225, get herself roughly where she normally starts, 226, coming up the hill. Why am I counting down? Doesn't look like the time was actually a valid one, so yeah, no time set for Jen there. But anyway, I digress. While quality is going on, let's take a quick look at the track guide round here, and we'll take you through the championship standings. And yeah, get ready for this race.
Welcome everyone to Road America, located here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Great to have you with us as we provide you your track guide today in the Ford Mustang around this 4.04 mile road course, known to some as the Nürburgring of America. When racing through the streets of Elkhart Lake became cumbersome in the early 1950s, highway engineer Cliff Tufte chose these 525 acres to build one of the most beautiful and challenging courses in road racing. The first event was won by Phil Hill on September 11th, 1955, and 1 year later, the famous SCCA June Sprints were born right here in Elkhart Lake. Well, let's begin our track guide around this 4.04 mile road course as we start at the exit of turn 14 and head up this long front straightaway. Drivers really look forward to this area of the track as it's one of the fastest areas of the course, and obviously providing slipstream opportunities for them to overtake their competitors. We come up over the crest of the hill, heading down into turn 1. This is where all the overtaking takes place. You'll see it at the starter races, going 2 and 3 wide through this corner. Very fast entry and a very fast exit around turn 1 as we head down the hill around this slight bend to the right, turn 2, and entering our second right, turn 3. Very important here to get that nose set just right, as you got to get every inch of that track used up on the exit to get the speed down this second straightaway on the course, or second longest straightaway I should say, this one coming in right at a half a mile in length. We head down through Moraine Sweep. This is going to take us to the heaviest brake zone on the track, turn 5. It's known for its braking, and it is very difficult to get right every time. Get a good run up out of 5 to come up the hill to the famous Corvette walkway into turn 6. Slight left-hander. Got to be real careful on exit. Modulate that throttle a little bit. Heading down into turn 7, pretty much wide open. Take a little bit of curve on the inside. Brings us down through Hurry Downs into turn 8. Coming out of 8, we'll approach the Johnsonville sign and head into the carousel. Turn 9 at the entry, and it'll be turn 10 at the exit. Very difficult turn here to get right as well. You got to modulate that throttle, get that nose planted so you can get a nice fast run down to the King, one of the most dangerous courses on the track. Got to lift on entry, get that throttle right back at the right point so you can set that car right on the edge on exit. The back straightaway, another fast straight here, coming into another heavy braking zone as we come down through Kettle Bottoms and into turn 12. Want to get a good fast launch out of here as you got to climb uphill through Bill Mitchell Bend, turn 13, exit out of here up into 4th gear, and this brings us to the final corner on the track, turn 14. Most critical turn to get right, as it brings you out onto this long half-mile straightaway and up the hill. As we approach the start-finish line, that is your track guide for Road America, located here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Thank you for being with us.
Welcome back, and thank you to Kevin for that track guide. Do love this circuit, absolutely fantastic one. Really looking forward to see how tonight's going to pan out. Looking at the qualifying times, looks pretty close out there as well. Not a lot in it. I mean, Nom putting in his usual pace, but the rest of the pack fairly close. That mid pack in the GS class, extremely close there, and the MX-5 as well. I think it's going to matter too much about those. This circuit is just made for slipstreaming for them. Brandon Whitworth, 1.3 seconds down on pole there, but relatively decent time for him. No, I'm not too far away from finishing a lap, but yeah, before we get too much into that, let's take a quick look at the championship standings before the start of this race. He says. And I love a good technical glitch for us. I can't quite get the championship standings up. Just give me a moment, let's just see if I can quickly just get this sorted out. Sorry, obviously Adam would normally be filming while I'm doing this, so I do apologise. Problem. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It's most unusual. Just a little glitch there that I can't quite show, so I'll have to read them off while qualifying is continuing. But it's Kevin Ford leading the way in the GS Pros. He's ahead of Stephen Thomas by 1 point, so very, very close in that championship. Jeff Jacobs is in third on 107 points, and Clint Vigus on 103. Russ Ruddock is in fifth with 97, and then you've got Nom coming back through 79 points after his win last week, so not over and done with for him by any means. Then we've got David Warren leading the way in the open category, followed by Nathan Thomas with 62 points. Andrew Fawcett on 54, then it's Chad McDonald on 50. Over in the ST class, it's Robert Hartley leading the way on 143 points, followed by Jim List on 126. Then it's Ian Nuki on 118, Mike Dam on 117. Very, very close in that class, but Hartley really is stretching his legs on there now. In the open category, Chris Thorman leads the way on 92. Just 2 points behind him is Greg Mack. Then it's Bobby Charles on 77. Tied with him in third place is Mike Key. And then Mike Taylor, just 1 point behind them as well. Actually, Geordie Fike on 73 points. So 4 points covers 4 or 5 cars there. So very, very close as well. So still all to play for out there. And yeah, going to be a very, very close championship, I think, all the way to the end. Road America, of course, does give us a complete pace lap, doesn't it? So this will be a long time for me to go through the grid. But on pole position then is Aero Nom. Then it's Kevin Ford in second place. Third, followed by Leon Wright. Then it's Tyler Shiflett and Jeff Jacobs. Brandon Whitworth, Russ Ruddock, followed by Michael Ruddock. Those guys are inseparable always. Coffard is 10th and Nathan Thomas. And Raymond Bader Jr. is in 12th. 13th place, we've got David Warren, and then it's Jim McDonald, followed by Andrew Fawcett and Clint Vigus. Clint not setting a time, it would appear. Opposition in the STs, we've got Mike Dam, followed by Giuseppe Iannucci. That's Rob Hartley and Giuseppe's brother Pasquale in fourth, and at 20th place overall. Then it's Travis Benke, followed by Jim List, John Allen. Good to see John back, followed by Greg Mack, Joe Boyd, David Payton, and then Geordie Fike and Chris Thorman. So pretty decent grid out there today as well. When you look at this, Jeff Lovell, then followed by Jason Watt, Mike Taylor, Michael Key. We've got Patrick and Ryan round out your grid today. 34 cars, looking like a good one. Gonna be gonna be quite pumped to see how this one all pans out. So yeah, it looks like I'm probably solo in this one. We'll give Adam some stick later on. So feel free to ask me any questions on the chat, or some interaction will have to say help me no end tonight. So can be the problem with the late night broadcasts that we do here. It is 1:30 now, so occasionally we do have the odd commentator fall asleep, and Andrew's out of action at the moment with his PC, and so yeah, it's just me and Adam doing them all. Let me just send him a little text message, see if we can't get him up. Wakey. Oh well. Nom, of course, has got a job to do in this, well, for the rest of the series, really, if he's going to close the deficit up. Keep banging in the wins, and there's still a potential championship. He felt rather he seemed rather confident going into or coming out of the last race at I believe it was Indy. So just the way he was in the interview says that, you know, he really wants to win this one as well. So he's not going to give up. He's going to push all the way. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like I say, he needs to bang in the wins all the time. Just for those of you that are not aware, on our overlay there's 4 different colours there. Pretty hard to distinguish, but you've got like the darker blue, that is your pro driver, then your lighter blue is your AM driver or your open driver in the GS category. And then if I just scroll a little bit further down, that's good. There we go. So the darker green, which really starts from Mike Dam, is now gone off the overlay. But they are your ST Pro drivers, and then the lighter green are your ST Open drivers. So while they are in their own class and they are scoring points and have a championship based on their own rivals out there, they all are part of a sort of overall group in the class as far as the points go. So kind of show them similar to that. But yeah, should be interesting. The little slash to the right of the name is the iRacing, the drivers basically colour they've painted their car in the official paint area on iRacing as well. So for those of you watching the race back and you want to change your little slash colour, yeah, just go and paint your car a different colour there, and that'll do that. Big shout out to Ricmotech, of course, sponsoring the sports car series here tonight. We'll have a couple of little messages from them later on in the race, but right now let's get down to the action here at Road America, where Nom is about to get us underway. Here come the lights, and he is away. Good start from Liverpool once again. That's 2 wins in a row now. He's absolutely had a flyer, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get around the outside. It's not easily achieved, that's for sure. Outside of turn 1, Nom very comfortable into the corner, even though he was sort of pinched a little bit in there. Good clean start from the GS category. Really turn 5 where it starts to sort of tighten up a little bit. These first 2 corners, fairly decent medium high speed corners, but a couple of people just trying to get some positions. And over in the MX5s and the ST class, we're away. Giuseppe has got the jump on Mike Dam into turn 1, so good start, and Dam is going to have to come back at him, and I have to say, I feel like Dam will get back very, very quickly. These two did work extremely well together at Indianapolis just a week ago, and little gap already. It's Giuseppe's brother who is up and into 3rd place. He's got Jim List having a little look up the inside into turn 5. You go through that corner side by side, no issues, and they're almost side by side behind as well. That's Hartley and Travis Svenke as well. So good clean start from both categories. I haven't seen anyone retire. I'm looking down the order on the live timing, and it all looks good. Just give me a second as well. I will send you the live timing link here as well today, if you want to check that one out. There you go, just posted in both the chats for you guys as well. Of course, we are streaming live on Facebook once again tonight, so can I just ask actually the drivers, it'll be great if you give this a like and a share on Facebook as well. More so that we know who you are. It'd be great to be able to tag you in some of these races when you've had an absolute awesome one and things like that. So just kind of spread the word and show where you've done a good race and help build the community and build the awareness of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, as well as our own channel. And yeah, I think as far as YouTube goes, you know, we do our thing every week and build up some subscribers, but yeah, I think it's time to start looking at the social platforms as well. So it'd be good to get you guys a little bit more out there. And right, there's a little pack sort of forming at the front, and that is the sort of the top 4 cars. So Leon Wright, Stephen Thomas, Kevin Ford and Aero Nom all sort of breaking away now. I mean, 1.3 seconds, it's not a huge amount. They're still sort of in that slipstream range. But yeah, Tyler Shiflett and Jeff Jacobs, I don't know if they had a little battle a couple of laps ago, because they've just sort of lost touch. And to some point, actually, so was Leon Wright. This sorry, no, it's not Leon Wright. It was Tyler that lost the gap. So 1.2 seconds. So, and he's actually almost in that middle of no man's land already, only on lap 2. So yeah, a lot of bit of battling going on already, just separating the pack. Yeah, that's a good question. I tell you what, there's not a lot of people, I don't think, that racing the GT1s anymore. Just a question that came over the YouTube chat. There are still races, but I don't think they're quite as popular as they used to. I remember when I first joined the service back in 2012, the vets back in the day in the GT1 with the HPDs were yeah, extremely popular. So, but alas, not so much now. But yeah, I know the Ricmotech series, they've been running this combination of cars for a long time, and yeah, it works really well for them. As we just check in now with the MX-5s, still it's Mike Dam and Ian Ucci at the front, trying to control and dictate the pace, much like they did at Indianapolis. And yeah, there'll be no separation here with these cars. The slipstream is just so extreme, and the straights here are so long, very wide for somebody there. That was Joe Boyd, just running a little bit wide. So fortunately, didn't lose too much time. And on the overlay, if you want to know what the little red marks are that flash up, well, that's just to indicate that that they are running off the track. And up the inside, then into turn 1, great run for Jim List. He moves himself up to second, and all of a sudden, Dan finds himself swamped just a little bit. I thought Pasquale was going to have a little look, see if he could get up towards the front and join his brother. Apparently, it's not. and he has to just sort of sit in and wait. It'll be quite a tactical race, will this one be. A lot of patience is going to be needed, that's for sure, to save a bit of fuel, maybe try and get the absolute shortest pit stop time available. That's going to be so key, and I think more than ever this pack is going to stay absolutely immense. So we've got Mac just losing a little bit of time on the front pack, John Allen ahead of him, but you think Mac is way, well, let me have a quick look actually. He's quite, you look at that, so the 9th overall in the ST class, so that's yeah, that's quite a pack there as well. We've got a few drivers that have dropped down just a little bit. Peyton behind him, and then I think we've got Jason Walk and Jeff Lovell. Really, that little pack just hasn't quite been able to go with the lead group, so they're forming up their own little battle, which will be good. But I think, yeah, this main pack here is just going to stick pretty tight for a long time. Jim having a little look into Canada corner, can't quite get the overlap that he wants to feel comfortable with the move going in there. Has to settle in. Again, just waiting, seeing what's going to happen. Like I say, him and Iannucci work really well at Indy, so he will want to try and get back to the front and slipstream each other. But of course, it means with these long straights here at Road America, it just means that actually sometimes you can get overtaken by a couple of cars. Big shout out and thanks to people that have tuned in from on the Facebook side of things as well. Get to hit that like and share the video. Let's try and build up that view count. And wow, good move from Jim List into turn 1. Just pulled out the slipstream right at the last minute. We were on board with Dan watching that one play out. But yeah, List to the lead. Doesn't want to save any fuel, does he, right now? He's just go. See if he can get himself a little bit of a gap, but straight onto his tail again. I think we'll see. This is going to be the theme of the day with this class, certainly. Thought for a moment, actually, yeah, that Zippy was going to go straight back through. Decides not to. Just seems to me it's more the front 3 or 4 that are actually sort of exchanging positions at the moment. The rest of the pack, so your likes of Hartley and Svenke, Boyd and Allen, they're just sitting tight. They're just you know, looking at the long game here, I think, more than anything. And then just a little bit further in this pack, you have got Greg Mack, David Payton and Geordie Fike. They're just happy to be running with the leaders and broke away from their sort of the pack behind. But yeah, Greg is 1.3 seconds back. He really needs to make sure he nails the next complex so he can stay inside this draft. Of course, the further you fall back, don't quite get the same momentum. It's going to make him a little bit vulnerable. And I think Payton, he'll want to go through as well, because I know David, very good driver, and he'll think that he can, as he gets onto the grass going into Canada corner, he'll definitely feel like he could hold with the front runners. Let's see what's going on over in the GS class now. He's not really been able to break away. Got an 0.8 of a second margin, and it's Ford, Thomas and Wright that are still absolutely with him. So these 4, last time we checked in, were very similar position, and once again doing exactly the same thing. So yeah, Kevin always seems to come strong in the second half of the race as well. Seems to find an extra couple of tenths of a second, so pretty important for it's pretty important for him to just sort of stay in touch these early sort of like 25 minutes, I feel, and then he's got a great opportunity to have a little run at Nom later on. But tell you what, Nom really stretching it this lap, pulled away nearly 0.3 of a second. So I think it's about 1.5 seconds where the Mustang seems to lose the benefit of the draft. And into Canada corner, you can see the interval in the battle box there. It's not really come down at all. It's just worked its way down ever so slightly. So not the best of runs off of the carousel for Ford. He's in danger actually of losing the slipstream, and this is the important thing that he mustn't really do. Great final corner as well for Nom. Stretches out even more. The battle box indicates that he's no longer within 1.5 seconds, so it becomes a battle for second rather than the lead. Goes to show one lap can make all the difference. 0.6 of a second. There you go. Look at that. Oh, 2:25.025 for Nom, and it was a 2:25.66 for Ford. So. Yeah, the best part of 0.6 of a second lost on that lap makes such a difference. Then a little bit further back on the GS class, and you've got Michael and Michael and Russ, of course, right next to each other, like they usually are as well. So father and son duo trying to get one up on each other once again, and. Alexander Coffard is with them as well, trying to spoil their fun, I feel. On any of this father and son banter, just wants to get past the pair of them. I'd love to know actually, to be a fly on the wall on like their team speak, Russ and Michael, when they're racing each other. Oh, as Michael just gets to himself all kinds of out of shape over the top of the hill. That was a little Larry, but yeah, held on to that. And I tell you, that's something I know with this car. I've not drove it a great deal, but the times that I have, you'd be surprised. You think it's pretty gutless, but actually, when you do get it a little out of shape on power, it really does bite you very quickly. So Michael did a great job to hold on to the car there. Reacted really well. Got himself out of the gas and saved it before he found the wall. Over with the ST class then. Well, all change at the front. It's Pasquale Iannucci followed by his brother Giuseppe now. So up 3 spots for Pasquale. Very nice indeed. But yeah, this front pack is not separating apart anytime soon. Jim List third, Mike Danforth Hart is 5th, then it's Travis Spenke, Joe Boyd, John Allen, pretty much rounding it out. David Payton has got past Greg Mack and starting to gap those 2 cars behind. But unfortunately, I feel like it's just a little bit too late for Payton, because he's 3.4 seconds back and well and truly out of the slipstream now. Not at all what he wanted. Gonna have to hope that those guys just really battle in that front pack for a few laps, like they really go at it and almost from the front, just so they have a couple of 1 second laps slower or something like that. Gonna be needed, that's for sure, if he's gonna get back into this. But yeah, at the front, great little battle, and where we had father and son banter going off in the GS class in the ST, and it's definitely yeah, brotherly love out there right now. And let's see how much there is. Are we going to get a push? No, we're not. It goes to the inside. Does Giuseppe on his brother? Doesn't squeeze him though. You'd think, oh, you know, give him a little squeeze. Oh, as I think Pasquale wanted to get into the slipstream of his brother there to not allow List through, and List was not having any of it, and still trying to be a little bit forceful, squeezing. Oh, and they're around! That's not what they needed. Massive crash. Absolutely causes carnage. They were getting a bit feisty. Everyone scatters behind. And that is not at all what they wanted to do. I'm not surprised it happened. Just a bit frantic there. Just going to see if I can... oh, just a little bit too far back. This. Go on board with List. I mean, List didn't give him any room on the outside. He was still there. And of course, Pasquale comes across to try and pinch him a little bit. And there's just no room on the inside. And I'm not really sure that's anybody's fault other than just racing instant. List comes off far better, of course. And the rest of the pack just all scrambling. We did have this massive group that was very close. I think Wally's going to be okay. Is he? No, he is out of the race. So don't know if he got some damage. He got hit pretty hard. Let's see if we can get another little look back, perhaps from a slightly more distant camera. Gonna give us a better overview. So there was a lot of moving around on the straights, weren't there? A couple of times, squeezing here, there as well for Pasquale. List just trying not to hit him. And, oh, well, that's going to be an absolute terrible goal. That showed us nothing, but yeah, Pasquale took some hits there. And I think that's why he's had to bring it back in and retire, unfortunately. What that has done then, let's just take a second and just see how that's affected the order. So Giuseppe Iannucci leads the way in the ST class. He's 1.3 seconds clear now of Jim List in second place. Let me bring up the gap graphic for you as well. Behind them, you've got Mike Dam. Now, he is a further 2.3 seconds back from List. Then it's John Allen, who's all of a sudden moved up a load of places. Of course, he's got a bit of damage on that car, so he didn't get away from that scot-free at all. He's 1.4 seconds back from Mike Dam. These guys all just in slipstream sort of range at the moment. Joe Boyd tucked in behind Allen, up 4 places now. Just a half a second back. Greg Mack, who we said kind of had lost the draft. Well, he managed to get back past David Payton. So Payton arrived on the scene and had to check up somewhat, and lost the position to Matt. But of course, still gained a bunch of places over that one. People who come off pretty bad actually seem to be Travis Fenke. He lost a further 4. Well, he's lost 4 places now. It looks like we might have Jason Walk out as well. He's got some issues. Just seeing him showing us out on the screen. But also Rob Hartley came out. Oh no, there's Walk. Just appearing back into the screen. So yeah, just the internet issues for him. But yeah, so Hartley down 7 spots. And he was one of the cars that definitely ploughed in there as well. He couldn't really do anything. You can see he's got pretty heavy front right damage. Now, I don't know if that's affecting his tracking. Yeah, looks alright. I think he's okay, is Hartley, but will affect the straight line speed of the MX-5, that's for sure. He is in slipstream range right now. No, he's not actually. So he's just outside, I think. So he needs to have a good couple of laps to try and get back onto the tail of Travis. And actually, I say that he has done that. So back into a second behind. So I think he's good enough to try and close up on the back of Geordie Fike, but that is Travis has got some 3 seconds to close up there, so that's a tall order, and I feel Hartley and him will have to work together to close that gap back down. First pit stop of the night then, and that goes to Jim McDonald in 16.5 seconds stationary, 1 minute time in the pit lane. That just goes to show how slow it is here at Road America. That pit lane is just so long, just crazy. And yeah, we'll have to. That strategy is going to be so important. Of course, everyone all restricted to the same speed, but just getting the timings right on the pits so key. And I think no one can make it on a one stop or a no stop race. Sorry. But this is definitely one of the circuits where if you ever think about wanting to try some sort of alternate strategy, if you can do a bit of fuel saving, makes a big difference right now. Oh, blown engine for Travis Venke. That was from the damage caused in that crash. So race over for Travis. He'll be gutted with that. Yeah, plows into the wall. He's not happy, I feel. It wasn't any of his doing whatsoever. And yeah, unfortunately, not good. John Allen tucked up behind. Sorry, it's Joe Boyd tucked up behind John Allen. So, yep. Guys, going to try and work together and see if they can close back up to Dam. Sorry about that, just had to report a bug in the overlay. I know if I don't do it straight away, I will forget. Right, what is going on there? All that carnage. What is going on the GS class, or what is going on is Stephen Thomas is using all the track and a little bit more out there as well, as he nearly goes off in the pink, going down towards Canada Corner. Didn't cost him any time, but yeah, still risky business. I think that is. It's very easy just to come out of that corner where think, if I just run wide, it's okay. But sometimes it just spits you out to the inside, and you can end up in the wall pretty hefty. 24 minutes of this race has gone already. Not really sure where. Absolutely flying by. And yeah, uncharacteristic is the I would say is what happened in that race. Can't tell you if there's been any penalties or anything like that handed out. Unfortunately. So that's something that may get looked at post-race. But yeah, Thomas perhaps starting to really put a little bit of pressure on Ford. I'm not sure. We've got Beta Jr. into the pits as well. I'm not really sure whether it's in Thomas's interest to try and make a move on Ford at this point. They've not lost a great deal of time to Nom. Still putting him under a fair bit of pressure. Any mistakes really, and they're going to be absolutely all over him. And not going to be too much longer, I think, until they start to close in on the other class. So we can see now, obviously, there's a couple of MX-5s going into Canada Corner now. They're going to catch up those, but you look, the bulk of the pack are sort of going down the main straight. So I think maybe, obviously a lap to catch up these 2 cars, but then maybe 3 or 4 laps, maybe 5, to catch up the rest of the pack. And then all of a sudden, Nom's going to be basically alerting the cars that the Mustangs are coming through, and he's going to struggle to get through quickly enough, and might just get held up. So, well, I think that's probably what Ford and Co are actually hoping for out there. Of course, yep, just to remind everyone, just don't forget to hit the like and share this video if you're enjoying it. And if you do, I'll be immensely happy because I'm on my Todd tonight. A couple of cars into the pits. Tyler Shiflett, Jeff Jacobs and Brandon Whitworth all come in together. Let's see what they do in terms of strategy. I mean, not expecting anything too unorthodox here. I think all 3 drivers will pit the tyres. Oh, excuse me, told you it's getting late. But yeah, I think all 3 tyres will, all 3 drivers will pit the tyres and different. Yeah, left side. Cars all jacked up. Fuel's going in and down. And right side. No, right side tyres for Jacobs. Just finished with the fuel. What surprised me actually, when Shiflett, he did take tyres, but he was finished not much afterwards as well. So he could be in a very, very strong place as far as the battle with Jacobs goes. That's for sure. Give it 3 or 4 laps for the best of the best of the left-hand side tyres to wear off. I think I think he's in a strong position there. So clearly the window is open now. As I said, some of the leaders are going to be coming through. Kevin Ford gets the first of the MX-5s that he's got to deal with. Goes straight through, no issues. Stephen Thomas does go through, but it does slow him down just a little bit, as it does Leon Wright. So that's not what those 2 wanted. It does give Kevin Ford a little bit of breathing room. And has it closed in Kevin just a little bit? I think it has. Let's see. Last lap, it was a 2:25 for Nom. What's he going to have done this time? We've got Leon Wright jumping into the pits. He's decided now's the time to do that. So the lap as he crosses the line, a 2:26.3. Actually, it was only a 1/10 of a second gain from Ford, and I have to say most of that comes down from Ford just having a bit of a untidy last sector of the lap, because he was closer. He was only 2 seconds behind going into down the corner, so didn't quite nail that, and yeah, it sort of hurt him just a little bit. But yeah, Leon Wright went in. Who else has gone in as well? This is Michael Ruddock. He's gone in too. So's Russ. And pretty much everyone from behind that. Nathan Thomas hasn't yet, and he doesn't. He can. Yeah, so everybody else above him has stayed out now. So really, it's the top 5 cars we're just waiting to come in GS. Now, there has been some early pit stops, I believe, in the MX-5s as well. So Mike Dam has pitted. Who else has come in? Giuseppe has pitted as well. And of course, he wasn't involved in any of that, was he, Giuseppe? He was out front, so everything was okay. He avoided all of that carnage behind. Greg Mack and Joe Boyd have also pitted, so I'm just trying to see where these guys are on the map. So they pitted and they come out behind that sort of 4 sort of cars that were potentially coming up on them. So I think I can understand why they've come in there, because they just don't want to get held up at all by the faster GS class coming through. We'll have to wait and see though. When they pit, I think they're still going to be ahead of them. So may not have worked out. Maybe just a pure strategy call with what was going on around them, the incidents at the time, and whatnot. Right, we're about the halfway stage of the race now. Got just gone 31 minutes of the race gone. So Kevin Ford and Stephen Thomas are coming in, and Nom is already into the box as well. What these guys do, and then what we'll probably do is head towards a quick advert break, if that's alright. You all said no. I might continue. No, in fairness I can't. See, that's pretty close. There's not, there's quite a gap between them, but there really isn't. So is Ford going to do some different strategy to try and get track position on Nom? Nope, Nom taking new tyres. Ford has not taken tyres, so this is going to be close when they on fuel. Oh, but what's going on? Ford's still staying there. Problems. Kevin Ford. Oh, disaster. Absolute disaster. I don't know if that wasn't a penalty, because you got to serve the penalty before you start to service the car. So just issues for Ford. He is away now finally. 37.18 seconds. That's a good 13-14 seconds he's lost in the pits there. So podium comes undone for Ford, and this is exactly what Nom wants. You know, he wants these guys at the front that are constantly getting those points week in, week out to make those mistakes. It makes his job just a little bit easier when it comes to catching them up. We've got David Payton and Geordie Fike have it in their little battle. We will rejoin that battle in just a few moments' time when we come back after our messages from our partners for the broadcast tonight. And yep, please go check out their website for all of their goodies. But yeah, I'll leave it to those guys just to explain their little advert.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. the end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome back to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Alex Simpson here, Apex Racing, and with my co-commentator Adam Bath. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Sorry, Adam. I'm gonna have a little jib. You know, he's not with me. Yeah, of course, Adam was meant to be with me tonight, but we were talking about half an hour before the race. I'm guessing he must have shut his eyes for a second, and that was the last we saw of him. As you may or may not know as well, and Woodhouse PC has exploded on him, so yeah, we're struggling a little bit at the moment with those two. But yeah, hopefully Andrew will be around again in a few weeks' time. New PC is well underway being built right now, so just to check in with everything that's going on right now. So Mom leads the way from Thomas after Ford's pit stop, and just looking at the notes from the meeting as well. Kevin Ford has got an issue with his wrist, I believe. So that sort of long endurance sort of pace that I was probably going to expect from him later on in the race, he's going to struggle with, because I was obviously carrying a bit of an injury as Thomas gets through on the traffic just there. But yeah, Stephen Thomas, then it is Leon Wright in third place, then Tyler Jacobs is in fifth, Brandon Whitworth, and it's Kevin after his poor pit stop. I don't know what went on there. Michael Ruddock, Alexander Koffar, Clint Vigus all the way down in 10th place. He is up 6 spots, I will point out, is Vigus. He did start from the very back after not seeing a time, so that's probably what's gone on there. Ross Ruddock is 11th, Jim McDonald 12th, Eamon Bader Jr. is 13th, and Andrew Fawcett. Over in the ST class, we have our leader Geordie Fike into the pits, so I'm guessing he's about to lose that spot. He does indeed. Mike Dam is going to take over the lead from Giuseppe Iannucci in second place. These two once again are working well together. I've commented on that just a few times, I think, tonight, and yeah, I fully expect them to try and pace away from the pack behind. Joe Boyd just about nipped ahead of Fike to get third place on the pit stops, but yeah, Mike came out just ahead of Greg Mack and David Payton. So good little battle. Drivers that we wouldn't normally see kicking around there. Rob Hartley, he obviously did get a fair amount of damage, and so did Travis Twinkie. We lost Travis just before the advert break as well, so big damage. Caused the engine to overheat and explode. So yeah, Hartley's really suffered somewhat and hasn't been able to move forward, and not doing the kind of lap times that we were accustomed to. So definitely carrying some damage on that MX-5. All in all, so far a good race. We've had that one big coming together, but yeah, it's been pretty interesting. I'm a bit gutted really the MX-5s, because I was really hoping we were going to have this absolute massive battle for the whole of the hour tonight, but yeah, unfortunately it's not to be. You never know, they may form back up towards the end of this one. Jeff Jacobs under pressure then from Brandon Wentworth. See now as well, the minimap's just disappeared. How the track is just split, all of the classes are just completely mixed in with other now. So this really does become the second sort of section of the race tonight, where it becomes just as much about going fast as it is managing the traffic out there as well. So if you're in the Mustangs, timing it so you come up on them absolutely the right time, so you don't lose too much time. You don't want to lose any momentum by coming out of the corner really slow. You want to be able to use the slipstream of the car and the slower traffic to actually gain you time, if anything. And if you're in the MX-5, it's all about making sure that you don't get sort of forced wide or anything like that and just offline and having to concede time that way. Just like Jacobs right now, he's under extreme amount of pressure from Whitworth, and he can't really do anything because he caught this traffic at the wrong time. I don't think he could have caught it at a good time at all, because there's so much of it out there. He's going to have to try and drive past as much of it as he can down the straight. Not a huge straight line speed difference between the two cars, but it is enough to get sort of 6 or 7 car lengths going in and down the straight. And the MX-5s are better through the corners. Oh, and we have a spinner. Who was that? That was Greg Mack, who spun. I'm not really sure how he spun. I'm gonna see if I can actually see exactly what happened. Did he get tagged from behind? Oh, he didn't. It was actually Hartley going up the inside. I think he perhaps just misjudged the speed that Greg wanted to take in there, a little bit slower than what he normally does, and what he normally does. But I tell you what, I thought for a moment Rob was going to let him go back through. Great sportsmanship. He did wait for a little while, but unfortunately it appears that List and Walk were coming, and yeah, he needed to get on with it. Just, yeah, stopped him from doing the super honourable thing, but still held and waited for a little while, so fair play. Many a driver would have just carried straight on. Not bad an eyelid. We're not too far away before we get to the World Challenge race, as up the inside of Coffard goes Vigus, runs a little bit wide, coming off of Canada corner. Not quite going to get the move complete as they sweep through. There's Coffard, Bill Mitchell bend, and yep. Looks like a good run here, I think, here for Vigus. Vigus up so many spots as well. Well, 6 places at the moment. It was 10 earlier on, but now that everyone's pitted, just not quite had the performance that we saw from him over the last couple of weeks. Hasn't helped going from the back, I have to say. But here he goes up the inside. I think this will be that move done. Crawford can't really do too much on the outside. Could covered it, but side stop too. Good move completed then for Clint Vigus. Checking in, see how this Jacobs and Whitworth battle has gone now that they've got through all of the traffic. still pretty close. I think Brandon is slightly quicker, so working his way back towards him. And of course they have got a very quick Kevin Ford coming up on them as well. Although I say that the last lap was not a good one for Kevin. He actually lost a second on these guys, so all of a sudden just seems to be struggling. But like I said, that could be to do with the wrist playing up for him. Thank you for everybody that has tuned in tonight and watched this one, or watched it back over the next week or so. Well, good question, Pat, I have to say. Just for those that aren't watching on YouTube, Pasquale has joined us in the chat, and yes, he just asked a question who was going to take this win tonight. So who knows? We're only 13 minutes away from it. We've got to get another advert break in at some point, but yeah, could be anyone's. What was your view of the incident? We can ask you. You can by all means come and have a quick chat with us if you want, Pasquale, and yep, give us your opinions on the incident, because it was a shame. It separated this pack apart pretty much, and yeah, you would look like you're having a good run up until then. So yeah, do come on and say hello. Damn, he's just playing a very patient game out there. You can just tell. Well, in fact, let's just jump on board. Let's watch what he does as a little moment. But let's watch what he does going into Canada corner. Does he get out of it very, very early, or does he just try and send one up the inside? Speak of the devil, here he is. And joining us in the booth is Pasquale Iannucci. Hello, sir.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah, good. So, yeah, well, you are having a good race. And you're having a great battle with, I believe it was List. Oh, sorry, we're just watching. We're on board with Dam as he took a little bit of the curb on the way through the kink. Not close enough to make a move, but yeah, and then it just all got a little bit feisty for a couple of corners, and unfortunately, you got turned and right into the path of the oncoming traffic.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. On the front straight there, I duck into my brother's draft. I didn't realize the closing speed from Jim, but came down to that corner and we went too wide to corner one, and then two. It just got away from him, but it's unfortunate for Hartley and Travis and those guys that ruined a few people's races.
Well, what it does do is spice up the championship a little bit, because Rob had really been running away with this one as well. So it does give some of the guys like your brother and Dam the opportunity to close back in on him as well. So it just goes to show you can't just sort of rest on the laurels, because anything can happen,
Well, I guess that's the definition of taking one for the team, right?
Yeah, exactly. Didn't hear it here. It wasn't on purpose.
Look, I usually end entire races with, if an incident, one or two, but racing, and we're all pushing so hard every lap, it's bound to happen.
So, I mean, you asked a question of who was going to get this one, and I'll sort of throw a question back at you to be able to answer that one. Coming into the final lap, where do you want to be, really? There's so many places you can overtake around this circuit. You know, is this actually one where you could possibly win it from being on the front? You could lose a place going into turn 1. You could get it back turn 3, or
You want to
where
come up
do
that
you want to be?
hill, getting on the main straight. You want to be right glued to the person's bumper. You want to be in second coming up that hill, because with the draft, you're a sitting duck if you're in front.
And that's coming off the last corner, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well,
with these low power cars, you know, going up that hill really is it's tough if you're the lead car.
well, unless you get a little bit of traffic, of course, just at the right time, like your brother had last week.
Last week, yeah, he I don't see that last time. It's all the first P1 is the place to be.
Awesome stuff. Do you want to give a quick shout out to anyone while you're here, and then we'll get back to the action. We've only got 8 minutes of the race to go.
Yeah, Frank from Ricmotech, he's awesome. Recently up a set of his pedals, and they are. I come from real cars, and they're incredible. They are the closest thing to a real car that I've ever felt. So he does a great job with those, and we really appreciate him putting this league on. Kevin, Jeff, all those guys, they're all great, and TD. If I'm missing anyone, but it's a lot of fun every week.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, mate. Shame you couldn't be out there fighting for the win right now, but I'm sure we'll see you back and in that position again next week.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Cheers. Riley Nucci there. Taking one for the team, he says. Yeah, we jest. A couple of good little battles on screen right now. This one, of course, and while I'm loath to move away from a league battle, they have been changing positions for the last few laps now, religiously. But this one's going off as well. This was between Mike Taylor and Jeff Lovell. Lovell having a little look to the inside of turn 3. He'll get the slightly better run here, and that's Mike Taylor that he's biting with as well. They've got I would say a storm in Rob Hartley behind, but Hartley is struggling out there, absolutely on the pace. 2 minutes 34.5, so these guys are actually pulling away from Hartley right now, so just that damage has cost him big time. But yeah, Taylor able to get the inside at turn 5 and retain that position. Runs a bit wide coming up and over the crest, but yeah, still all good. Alright, we've got 5 minutes or so to go, well, just over. So I just want to throw it back to Frank and the Ricmotech crew. Final ad tonight, and yeah, we'll be back for the final laps of this race here at Apex Racing TV. Welcome back to the conclusion of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, round 6 from Road America. Alex Simpson flying solo tonight, and yeah, it's been a great race so far, and it's not over and done with yet. Give us a overview. It's looking pretty stagnant in the GS class, I have to say. Aero Nom pulled away quite early on, and the mistake from Kevin Ford really separated that pack apart. That was a pit stop error. but I feel like Kevin could have kept them a little bit closer. Stephen Thomas is second place. Leon Wright. Then it's Tyler Shiflett, Jeff Jacobs, Brandon Whitworth is top 6 your class, and then we have Giuseppe Iannucci leading from Mike Dan. That little battle is on screen. If you can call it a battle, they're just out there helping each other out right now. The battle will be, as we heard from Giuseppe's brother just a moment ago, all about the final lap and where you want to position yourself. Seems to me like actually second place all the way up until the final corner is not a bad thing, as long as you're right on the tail of your opponent. You can still get the move done and passed up the hill. That's going to be interesting. Geordie Fike having a great race. He was able to avoid incident that happened about halfway through, where Pasquale got into it with List, I believe, at the time, and yep, he's up 10 spots for the night. So absolutely phenomenal drive for Fike, really. Definitely one of the big movers as well. The other, and it's worth pointing out as well, also in a little battle, although not quite as close, is Jason Walk. He's also up 10 places for tonight as well. So some real big movers out there, and some that have lost big as well. One of the people who's lost the most spots happens to be Kevin Ford as well. Just over 2.5 minutes to go. Pit stops have all been done. Really, this battle for the lead needs to get some sort of focus, I feel like, now. Once again, oh damn, listen to that. That was a huge lift down the straight. He has got no intentions of going past Giuseppe here at all until the absolute time is right. He's just letting his opponent just drive it out front. They've got so much of a gap behind, unless Giuseppe's going to bring the car to basically a halt. There's no way the pack is going to catch them up. So Mike can play this game as much as he wants, really. Just sitting here in second. Can't afford to make a mistake though. Any kind of like half mistake where he loses 4 or 5 seconds, that'll be the end of his race as well, as far as going for the lead goes. To the tyres and that MX-5 just wheeling away as they're at their maximum possible adhesion through there. And yeah, such a pounding corner is the carousel. I remember taking that flat out in the old Williams FW31 through there, and as we have a bit of traffic going through, I can't imagine what that would be like with the downforce going through something like that corner flat out. Just be absolutely amazing. Hello Mr. McNally, you should get yourself signed up to this league. I'm sure there's spots as well. I can ask Kevin Ford, our series admin, to come and send you a message if you're interested. It's a bit of a late night though for us, but yeah, I can do it, you can do it, that's for sure. Right, we've got all of 4 seconds to go. Aeronom and the push-fit car are just coming up to the halfway section of the racetrack over the little crest, and now finds himself heading down towards probably the hardest corner on the circuit. This downhill left-hander camber sometimes can really throw a bit of a curveball to how the car reacts there. No issues for Nom. It's got 7.5 seconds basically to play with behind, so doesn't need to push anything or make any kind of crazy mistake, as he actually runs just a tiny bit wide through the carousel, but flicks it back up and makes the exit apex just lovely. And that's the thing with that corner. You can't get away with taking a bit too much speed initially in, as long as you do scrub it off and get a good exit. You won't lose too much time, because running wide you just get a slightly better exit and you make up some of the time that you've already lost. Into Canada corner then for the final time for Nom. The little kink right, and it's Bill Mitchell Ben, and then it's the final corner of the race here tonight at Road America. Been a dominant drive again from Nom, no mistakes whatsoever. His rivals just keep making those little mistakes, making his job just so much easier. But he has taken the opportunity, both hands. There Nom gets the win here, and that MX-5 just wanted one less lap to do, didn't it? Quite clearly. But yeah, Nom takes the victory, and it's going to be Stephen Thomas. Where are these two? This needs to be the battle that we're paying our attention on. So Dam has indeed stayed in second place all the way. Oh God, he was so out of shape there as well. Last thing he wants to lose some time, 0.2 of a second. This is what he needs. We need to be absolutely on his tail. Can Iannucci do anything? He managed to hold the lead last time on the final lap at Indy. Oh, it's probably not the best exit, but he's under 0.2. I feel like he's going to get this one done. Oh, the line's coming up. He might just hold on to this one. This is going to be so close at the line. I think Dam just got it. Oh wow, that was close. So close. We'll see when the official timings come in. I think I'm seeing 0.008 of a second right now. So another good little battle in the MX-5s though is Fike and Boyd. I think he might be just a little bit too far back to make this one. It's going to be close, but not close enough. No, Fike holds on. And of course you've got Walk and List. They're very close as well. Nothing happening there. What's going on? Coffard and Ford have already finished. So who are we waiting for? Andrew Fawcett. Here he comes. He's in sort of no man's land, really. But we'll come across, and then you got Jim McDonald as well, and then Raymond come across. So yeah, here comes Jen, and then is Raymond going to make it up the hill? He might be out of fuel. Oh, just needs another little splutter. Road America for you. Oh, someone get out and give him a push. Come on. Gutting. Absolutely gutting. Well, he can't quite get it finished, unfortunately, can Bader Jr., so gutted for him. Right, we are just waiting for the final classifications to come down, and we will go through them. Give me a second. So, the winner in the GS class tonight, then, Aeronom takes the victory from Thomas by 7.4 seconds. Then it's Leon Wright. Another 7 seconds back for him. Tyler Shiflett in 4th. Jeff Jacobs with a good top 5 finish. Brandon Whitworth in 6th. Michael Ruddock is 7th. Clint Vigus was 8th. Alexander Hoffart was in 9th. Kevin Ford, after his finished in 10th place. Russ Ruddock. And then Andrew Fawcett, Jennifer McDonald, Raymond Bader Jr. And then retirements from earlier on. Didn't really see what happened to David Warren or Nathan Thomas, but both drivers retired relatively close towards the end of the race there. We can perhaps pick those back up in a bit. But over in the ST category, Iannucci, apparently, who won it from Mike Dam. So actually, it was completely the other way around. So there you go. That's how close it was, by 0.008 of a second. Actually, 0.08 of a second. It wasn't even close. What was the timing screen saying for me? Ah, there you go. Jolly Fike was in third, followed by Joe Boy, Jim List, Jason Walk in sixth, Mike Taylor in seventh, Robert Hartley in eighth, Greg Mack in ninth, and then it was John Allen in 10th, Michael Key 11th, Chris Thorman 12th, and Jeff Lovell, who was the last of the cars a lap down. And then we had drivers who had their issues. David Payton retired, Patrick Prevanas retired with about 8 laps to go. Travis Finke blew the engine after getting involved in that crash with Pasquale Iannucci and Jim List. Ryan Cobb place also retired. It was 24 laps down, and the last of the runners. Got a couple of drivers coming in for an interview, I believe. So let's just drag the first of them in, and it is in Aeronom. Welcome, sir.
Hey.
Good strong race for you today. No mistakes, and well, another victory. This is what you wanted. You said last week at Indianapolis, good, clean race, and keep picking up the results, and you'll be on track to try and get something out of this series at the end of it, and you've done it again.
Yeah, I have to say the boys are getting faster and faster behind me, and so it's getting harder to win. But in the race pace they are quite close, but in the quali I'm still quite far ahead. But it was clean race in the beginning, just doing quali laps, no mistakes, and just waited when Kevin had, I think, one little mistake and lost the most of the draft.
Yeah, I mean, it plays quite a big part in this car as well. Not to the same level as the MX-5. I mean, what sort of lap time gain can it be when you're in the draft?
Honestly, I don't know, but there's so long straights here, especially in the front straight. It's the uphill, so the car behind gets double the draft, I think. So yeah, there's three long straights, so yeah, it was quite a bit, I think. Maybe Kevin and Steven knows better.
Well, we'll perhaps try and grab one of those and ask them for that one. So, I mean, more of the same really next week, I guess, for you. Just good solid qualifying, no mistakes, and just try and get back into this championship. I mean, it'd be quite an achievement after missing a couple of rounds to try and win this thing.
Yeah, I think I just have to keep doing what I'm doing, and the results will show at the end if I win the championship or not.
Awesome stuff. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, thanks for the sponsors and the league guys, and you were doing the stream again alone, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we all need to tag Adam in the YouTube video and just say his microphone was very, very quiet in this one or something like that.
Yeah, good job.
Rub it in for me. Right, thanks, mate. Yeah, well, we'll see you next week, and yeah, wish you all the best of the luck for that one.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Cheers. Next up is Stephen Thomas. Welcome, sir.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, good. Well, I mean, just talk us through your race, really. I mean, that front four had a nice little breakaway early on. You were tucked up behind Kevin for a while, and then he just lost the draft, and you saw, I think really the win really was lost at that point, but managed to jump Kevin in the pits. I'm not really sure what happened to Kevin, but from there you were pretty much smooth sailing. You were sort of 7 seconds behind Nom and 7 seconds in front of Leon, so you just had to keep doing your thing out there.
Yeah, it worked out pretty nice. I mean, most of the guys that have experience at Road America, I know right off the get-go, just to fall in line and try to break away, not do anything too crazy at the beginning. So I think that's what that front pack did. We didn't really battle much at all to try to get that gap, and it worked out pretty nice for us. I'm not sure what happened to Kev in the pits, but you know, I know once he lost the draft, I figured I'd probably beat him through the pits just on the fuel savings. So. You know, it worked out pretty nice, and was able to gap Leon as well. So it worked out pretty nice. Just trying to hit my spots and execute.
Yeah, I mean, what's the thoughts in regards to the championship for you? I'm just bringing up what the points were going into this one to remind myself. So you were 1 point behind Kevin, so you've obviously gained that back today and then some, so you'll be going into the lead for next week. Of course, you have Nom coming up on you guys at a rate of knots. I mean, what do you need to do to try and mitigate him catching up to you by the end of the season?
For me, I think it's going to be about bonus points, trying to capture as many of those bonus points as possible. That's what makes that's why Arrow's so hard to beat. You know, he gobbles up all the bonus points. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. You know, he's rapidly approaching. So, you know, I'm going to try to stay consistent and hope he has an off night, a couple races, and I think that's all it'll take. So just being there to capitalize when it happens.
Awesome. Well, again, wish you the best of luck for next week. Let us know who makes it happen for you out there.
Yeah, we really appreciate Frank at Ricmotech for his support, and TD with TD's Tree Service. You know, we couldn't do it without them. And then our admins, Kevin and Jeff, they do a phenomenal job putting this on every week. And then last but certainly not least, you guys for putting on such a great broadcast week in and week out. We really appreciate you guys and what you do for the league. So, yep, that's it for me.
Thanks, Stephen. All the best, mate. And yeah, catch you next week.
Yep, night, guys.
Different than Indy.
Well, I'm going to bring them both in next because I'm not sure. It's the only way to say it. I had one time in screen tell me Mike won, and the other time in screen told me Giuseppe won. So who was it, gentlemen? Who won this?
Pretty sure Giuseppe won.
Yeah, good. That's fine. No, because on my time in screen, Mike, the first time it come up, it said you'd won by 0.008 of a second.
Really?
And then when I brought the official classifications down, it said Giuseppe did. And I can't see the iRacing screen, you see, while I'm broadcasting, so I don't know.
You just made me look. I just looked at the official results. But I like that you bring us in together. It just makes it nice and easy.
Yeah, I think I was like a car length behind him or something like that.
Yeah, I have to say, I didn't think we got there, and then I was a bit like, oh, okay. So you never do know with the timing screen. So, well, just talk us through your race then. I mean, first off, Giuseppe, you didn't obviously see or know anything about the incident with that your brother and Jim got into that separated the pack behind you. I mean, it would have been a radically different race, I think, without that. And yeah, but you were blissfully unaware in the lead at the time.
Yeah, they definitely ruined an exciting race. And once I saw that happen, I saw Jim was about 1.5 seconds behind me. So I'm like, let's see if I could. The draft starts to pick up about 2.3 seconds, 2.2. So I'm like, let me give it a try, see if I could break the draft. If not, I'll just come in and pit early. So yeah, it was definitely a different type of race, not the race I was expecting at Road America.
I mean, you both pitted early, actually. Mike, you had to go through that incident. Did you get collected in it anyway, or did you get through it fairly cleanly?
No, I kind of saw it unfold there, and yeah, I kind of let off early before that corner and just kind of went around. So yeah, I don't know who else in the field got hit, but yeah, it's definitely a bummer going into a race like this where you're expecting at least a 10-car train for most of the race there, and all of a sudden it's just like 3 guys at the top. But it was good. Me and Giuseppe, we kind of worked together there, and we're able to, make that gap and keep it clean to the end.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. It didn't even feel like a race. I'm like, should I race this guy? How do I race him at this point? And it was more like a mind game at the end.
Well, I mean, this is 2 for 2 now, isn't it, Giuseppe? 2 weeks in a row, you've nailed him on the final lap where he thought he was in the high ground, and you came out with the advantage thanks to the back marker, and yeah, the line just snuck up a bit too quickly this week.
Yeah, that's one spot where I felt some decent confidence against Mike coming out of that last turn, and knew I had some pace, but I didn't think I had that much pace. So it was a good one. Last week was lucky. This week, I guess luck plays into racing. So it was 2 good weeks.
And Mike, let's just talk about the final lap, because we were on board and you had a couple of moments where it looked like you were fighting the car coming out of Canada corner.
Yeah.
And a little bit the final corner. I think probably the final corner was the one actually that prevented you just from sneaking past on the line.
Yeah, definitely. Coming into Canada corner, I had a good run there, and I was able to force him into the inside there. I kind of was going for that over-under maneuver, but unfortunately hit a bump and wasn't able to get the power down. But yeah, I tried my best to get a good run out of that last corner. I really set it up wide at the start, and I shifted up early at about the apex, but I didn't. I probably should have followed his draft a little more there, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I jumped over hoping you weren't going to.
Anything
well, it
and
worked.
everything. Well, it did work. Indeed, it did. Well, I mean, you guys are over in my neck of the woods next week. You're over at Brands Hatch, so yeah. How do you feel about that place?
Oh, I'm not good there. I make a mess of that track.
Mike?
Yeah, do you know what configuration it is?
I believe it's down as the GP layout, so rather than the short little Indy one.
Oh, thank God. The short little Indy with the lapping, that would be crazy.
It would be a lot of fun, but yeah.
Well, I've been in a race with 60 other Kias around there in that little Indy circuit.
Oh,
it is
boy.
a lot of fun, so that's pretty messy.
Yeah, I feel Brands Hatch is one of those tracks where there's not too many people that are really comfortable with it. So there's a lot of, kind of weird corners on it.
Indeed, old school. Well, gents, thanks very much for a good show and a good race. I'm going to wish you the best of luck for next week. But before I let you go, I'll start off with you, Giuseppe. Just let us know who you want to thank out there.
I mean, we got the usual, and you got to thank those guys at Ricmotech, always, keeping the series running. So thank you, Ricmotech.
And Mike?
Yeah, just you guys staying up in the early of the morning every Monday doing this for us. Thanks.
Just to point out, there's not a you guys tonight. It's just me.
I noticed that. Hey, where's
Oh,
where's Mr. Woodhouse?
Well, Woody's PC's broken. It went bang a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I'm in
good
the
excuse.
process of building a new one for him. But yeah, Adam is pushing up the Z's somewhere, I think. So
I bet he's enjoying his sleep a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll nail him for that. Don't worry. All right, thanks, gents. And yeah, have a good week, and we'll catch you next week.
You too. Have a good week, Alex.
Right then. Well, that's just about the time we have for tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Of course, if you haven't already and you're watching the video back, please do give us a like and a share on the video. It really does help us out. It helps us spread the word for the league, because it's a fantastic league, and it does need to see, more people need to see this. And I think because it is such a late night, some of the European guys don't get to appreciate exactly how good this league is, and there's a few that will race it. We'll stay up and race this one if we can get a bit more exposure for it. And of course it helps the channel as well, spread what we do as far as broadcasting, so do that. So do check out our Facebook page. Obviously we're streaming all of these races live on our Facebook page as well as YouTube now as well. And yeah, if we see you on there and that you've liked the page, then we'll start to tag you in some videos and some highlight stuff and things like that when we start to do those. So yeah, do just give us a thumbs up on there and share on there. But from from myself and my co-colleague, from myself and myself, we will wish you a good night, and yeah, we will see you in a week's time at Brands Hatch.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.